Talking with Jerry.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. You got to subscribe. This way you'll get notifications for all of the episodes that I put up. Those notifications are important for you to keep up with my content as I post it. So, I usually don't do entertainment stories. And I'm not a big follower of contemporary music nowadays. However, I want to give my props to Beyonce. In case you haven't heard, this past weekend, she performed for the first time in 4 years at the Atlantis Royal Resort Hotel and Casino in Dubai that's going to be opening soon. And she was paid a record $24 million for a 1-hour performance. It was a star-studded event, a theatrical show with a production with violinists, the Beyonce dancers, fireworks, 3 wardrobe changes, and an Egyptian theme. And even her daughter came out on stage towards the end. What a show, but it wasn't for us, the public. But, some artists in a lifetime don't make anywhere near $24 million in performances and royalties, in, publishing, writing. And I can remember, in my era, even the Commodores, who were one of the biggest groups of that time in the early 80s with Lionel Richie, they would go on tour from maybe March or April through October. And it would be big news that after all those months of being on tour, they would gross $4 or $5 million. So to make $24 million for one show, one performance, and I'm sure they covered all the expenses, is really great. And Beyonce, she deserves all of her props. But I want to go back to when she was in the group Girls Town, and they auditioned to perform at one of my events in Houston, Texas, the Black Expo that I was doing. And this is before Destiny's Child. And the group was called Girls Town. And I've got my former stage manager here on the line that's going to tell you about it and how Beyonce's dad, Matthew Knowles, was trying to get us to help him for his daughter, Beyonce, and the group get a record deal. Hey, James, so just speak loudly and fill everybody in here.
Good evening, everybody. My name is James Carter. New York City is in the house. Hope all is well. Back in the days when I was the stage manager for Black Expo USA, I pretty much handle all the artists that would perform in the performance event, which we supply a stage, dressing room, catering, lights and sound. And I would get packages from demos from all types of people, managers, agents, that would try to get their artists to perform on Black Expo. I just came across the original Girls Town demo that was sent to me, like Jerry said before, they were Destiny Child. And here is one of the songs that's on the demo.
Okay, I know you can't really hear that great, but that's just a cassette tape that Beyonce's dad had given us. And James, tell the story if he gave it to you and asked you to do what?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Well, Beyonce's dad, he gave you the cassette tape and asked us to do what with it?
Yeah, he asked me about booking the girls and also if I knew any can also submit the demos to. I had some people that I've known back in the days that were CEOs and marketing and working with labels. So, but it was a good thing I did kept the cassette.
Mm-hmm.
So, and basically a lot of her material sound like when she was with Girl Town.
Right. So, it's just interesting the way life turns out. And as James was just saying, her dad gave us a tape to take back to New York to try to help him in whichever way we could through some of the record label people we knew at the major labels to try to help him get a record deal for Girls Town, which was the former name of the group before they became Destiny's Child. And Beyonce has went on to do a lot of great work in her community. She's built a community center. She's really done a whole lot. And just one other quick short story. There's some footage that's going to be showing now that I had an opportunity around 1999 to work with Destiny's Child and Beyonce. I was putting together a new black cable network called Urban Cable Network. And we went to a club to do a filming with WBLS radio station for a segmented show that we were going to do every Friday night. It was called Friday Night Live with a host from WBLS. And Beyonce and Destiny's Child, as you can see, is there performing for that.
Hey, that about does it for this week's edition of Friday Night Live. We want to thank Destiny's Child. Weren't they on the money? The bomb.
So, as I said, she's just an unbelievable performer, a really great person, and she needs to be saluted. Now, just another side note here. Some people were saying that, Beyonce shouldn't have went to the Middle East because many of the Arab countries, be it the United Arab Emirates or in Dubai, or of course we know in countries like Iraq and Saudi Arabia, they are very religious countries. And the LBG community, of course, we know has very harsh lives living in those countries. Actually, they can't really be openly gay in those communities because in some cases, if people are caught engaging in sexual activities, it's punishable by death. But, Beyonce is not going to change that. We, the United States, spent $1 trillion going to war against Afghanistan. And after we've left a little over 2 years, the girls can't even go to school there anymore. So, a celebrity can, not necessarily make any immediate change, but maybe somebody there in her entourage speaking with the heads of state and seeing people from the United States, and Beyonce has many people in her camp, I'm sure that are part of the LGBT community. Those things, maybe there's change that comes that way. And on that same note, somebody that I was a big fan of, Miss Aretha Franklin, you'll see a picture of me and her here together. There is a move now for the LBG community. And you'll also see some of the things that have been posted. They're trying to get the song removed from streaming services. You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, because they say that's offensive. The song You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, which is one of my favorites by Aretha. But to show you how these things, I'm not discounting anything. I'm, not against the LGBTQ community. I know plenty of gay people, men and women. But this issue, first of all, the song wasn't even written by Aretha Franklin. And Aretha Franklin is deceased. The person who wrote it is Carole King. So on that one, we could just fall back. So I usually don't do entertainment news, but this was big news. And I thought about it. And as I said, there were two little relationships there. One going back to Houston in 1991, when Black Expo first visited there, and my staff and us working with a group called Girls Town that later became Destiny's Child. And of course, we know Beyonce was in the group and left. and is now probably the most successful female artist of all time. So shout out to you again, Beyonce, all the great things you do. I can't say keep it up because we know you're going to keep doing what you've been doing. Don't forget to subscribe.